The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.
On this special episode of the Panthers Huddle, training camp is underway right here in the Queen City, and Coach Tracy Smith joins us to talk all things special teams. And the Panthers take a trip overseas on a goodwill mission to spread the Keep Pounding message. And we celebrate 30 years of Panthers memories by inviting some legends back to talk ball. Welcome inside the Panthers Huddle. I'm Kristen Balboni.
And I'm Thomas Davis, and NFL training camp is in full swing. But things are a little different this year.
That's right, TD. These players are getting to do something that you never got to do in your playing days, which is get ready for the 2024 season right here at home. After nearly 3 decades in Spartanburg, South Carolina, Panthers training camp is now in Charlotte. The team arrived last week to a renovated practice field and began their first activities in full pads near Bank of America Stadium on Tuesday. Veteran Panthers love the move, but have some mixed feelings about the change in venue.
It felt kind of weird at first, just seeing the fans out here and stuff like that, but it's just a whole new vibe, new practice fields, new look. It was fun. We still got the same work in, so.
I just had a little baby girl a few weeks ago, so I'm getting a lot of daddy time right now. So I'm excited to be here.
Spartanburg was great. Definitely was a place that I hold dear to my heart. I think there's an advantage of being here, and I think they can still bond and do all the things that they did in Spartanburg.
The excitement for the season hasn't changed. Head coach Dave Canales and GM Dan Morgan are cultivating positive vibes while making sure the team is laser focused on what matters most: playing football.
The coaches got a good feel for the defense. We just playing out the defense, seeing what type of looks they give us. So if they give us the candy, we're going to take it, just playing off of what they give us and just capitalizing.
If you bring your best and your opponent brings their best, then our whole play elevates. That's the mentality we want. And if we're all doing that as a team, just think about how that elevates the quality of football that we have.
Fans have been seeing some early returns on Dan and Dave's efforts at camp. Rookie Xavier Legette is wowing crowds with his ability to go up and catch the ball. Not to mention the budding chemistry between Bryce Young and free agent acquisition receiver Deontay Johnson.
We watch film together outside of practice and stuff like that, so I'm just trying to get in the playbook with him and see what he's looking at on certain things, and so I can be on the same page with him.
Very wiry in his movements, the way he can get in and out of breaks, sell routes, and for Deontay, it's how just the movement, the quick twitch.
On the offensive line, the additions of Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis are proving to be formidable opponents in camp for the D-line.
Robert Hunt, huge body, high motor. I'm excited for both of those guys. Bring Icky and Timo in, Corbett at center. I'm excited for what the offensive line can do this year.
He'll get me better for sure. I think I do really good things that that may give him issues, not issues, but that'll help him get his game right. And I think he do a lot of good things that'll help me get my game right. So I think it's iron sharper iron. And yeah, like I said, it's fun. It's a competition every day. I know if I don't bring it, he's gonna get me. Maybe if he don't bring it, I'll get him. So
football is back in the Queen City. But before the Panthers kick off the season celebrating 30 years of the NFL in Carolina, we paid tribute to our origins with a visit to Clemson University. FanFest was held in Clemson's infamous Death Valley on Thursday, where the Carolina Panthers played their first home games as a franchise in the mid-90s. This was a full-circle moment for senior defensive assistant Dom Capers.
So Clemson was actually pretty good to us because we were 5-3 as an expansion team, in our home games there. And we had to travel 3 hours there, and a lot of players joked that there wasn't much difference playing at home in Clemson and playing the 49ers on the West Coast because it took the same amount of time to get there.
Believe it or not, the preseason begins in less than a week as the Panthers hit the road for a Thursday night game against the New England Patriots on August the 8th. Then the team returns home to host the New York Jets on Saturday the 17th. Go to Panthers.com for tickets. We'll finish our exhibition games in Buffalo on the 24th. But this weekend, Julius Peppers gets inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And depending on when the huddle airs in your area, you may or may not have already missed it. But don't worry, we have you covered. Go to Panthers.com to get the inside scoop.
Coming up, we have new special teams coordinator Tracy Smith talking to us about the new kickoff rules.
This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers Television Network is brought to you in part by Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
That's where we make us. We make our team with those competitions. Xavier going against JC, then JC having to cover Deontay. This is how we become a great team. Iron sharpens iron.
I can hear them call like vultures on my shoulder. They just want me to go down, down, down. It's a motivation for me. This is how I keep my universe around. It's a show I came to put on, so you bet I'm gonna come and make it rain. Once I'm done with you, you'll witness what I'm made of, and you ain't gonna wanna go again. Take the challenge, show me what you're made of. Take a risk and show me what you're made of. Show me what there is I need to know. Take a chance and show me your potential. You can't win if you're afraid to fall. I'm ready for the chance to elevate, levitate, then I take the...
Welcome back to The Huddle. I am here with Special Teams Coordinator Tracy Smith. Tracy, thank you so much for joining us after camp.
Sure, Kristen. Nice to be here.
So for the fans who don't know you yet, can you give us a sense of your background and what brought you here?
I've been a special teams coach in the NFL for approximately 12 years, 12 to 15, somewhere in there. I'm coming from Seattle the last 3 years. I was a coordinator in Houston before that. And my connection to Coach Canales brought me here. I worked with him a couple times, been friends with him for a long time, and kind of excited to be in this area and working for this team especially.
So with that relationship, we know he is one of the most energetic NFL coaches, Coach Canales. I've heard you're also very energetic. Are you running around on punt return?
Depends on your sources. I am out here to help the guys get better however I can. Sometimes that involves a little bit of walking around, sometimes a little jogging around.
I love that.
But yeah, it's always good to see Dave's energy out here with the guys.
Can you break any news for us who you're looking at for a returner, both
sure.
positions?
Top to bottom, whoever's on the roster is eligible. So breaking news, if you know a person that plays for the Panthers, it's that person. We'll see. It's a new process. Some of the rules are different, and we're working our way through who can be best and who's available at those times.
That is a veteran coaching answer right there, which I like. Speaking of those new rules, first of all, I want to know what you think of them, because they're dramatically expected to increase returns, right?
Yeah, it's turned up my excitement and interest level right now for trying to figure it out. We are wide open to whatever it's going to turn into so far, working on it every day, and then open to seeing something completely different on Thursday when the first game kicks off. So we're trying to be prepared for everything we can be while we're just practicing against ourselves.
How do you practice on such a short time frame? Because the rules were just implemented in March, right? Are you having to remind guys like, hey, this is the new thing?
We had the whole spring on it, so the guys that were here know it. We just got someone, Keandre Thomas from the UFL, and he had not heard it yet. So it's like, oh wait, he did something that we are not allowed to do yet, so we had to kind of start back over and introduce everybody to it individually again. So it's a learning process for everybody, and it's changing as we go.
You were like, hey, we got something to tell you. Boy, are you in for a surprise.
Yeah, sort of, he ran when it wasn't time to run yet, and it's just, he was doing what he's been doing forever, and it's different. It's drastically different, as everybody will see soon.
Absolutely. So you've got some incredible specialists. I'm talking about Johnny Hecker, JJ Jansen. Not just incredible at their positions, but also two of the biggest energy guys, leaders. What's it like working with them?
It's been great. JJ, Johnny, Eddie, Harrison, Darren Bates, our special teams assistant, Leon Washington, our Bill Walsh fellowship coach. All of them into it. All of them have their own experiences they bring to it. Those two guys, especially Johnny and JJ, have been doing it forever and are really, really uncommonly into football for the position. So anytime I can lean on their experience and help, they are willing and able.
So you mentioned the two kickers. You're in that kicking competition right now between Eddie and Harrison. What do you look for? How's that going? I mean, aside from just making kicks. Or is there anything else?
No, Eddie's already proven he can handle his season. Harrison is brand new, so we're seeing how he is day to day. But we have a lot of time to work on that, and we're trying to get the best out of both guys.
And then finally, you've got a lot of young guys. There's been a lot of turnover on this team. Is there anyone that's flashing that you can tell us? And then also, what do guys need to do to impress you, to show you that they're ready?
Special teams is always ever-changing, always new guys. We haven't had anybody bump into anybody yet, so don't know yet. There's plenty of time for that, but everybody's kind of learning the fundamentals, the basics, so they can be playing at full speed when it's time to figure out who wants to stay.
All right, Tracy, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Kristen. Have a nice day.
Closed captioning for the Panthers Television Network is provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina.
All right, we are going to talk some Camp TD. Now, we mentioned it at the top of the show. Players are in Charlotte for training camp. something that we know you never got to do. So what are the benefits of getting to be here in Charlotte?
You know, I think the benefits are what we talked about. They get the opportunity to stay at home in their bed. It's the comforts of being in your own space that these guys are going to get to enjoy.
Now, as everyone knows, you are part of some really great Panthers teams, and training camp is such a bonding time. So Can you tell us what your experience with training camp was like on some of those teams?
Listen, on our teams, you never had the opportunity to come to a training camp practice where you didn't hear me and Cam Newton going at it and just having that friendly banter. But what people didn't realize that when me and Cam did that, each one of us had to show up our best every single day. And that raised the level of competition for each of us, and it ultimately made me a better player, and I know for a fact that it made him a better player. But what it also did, it made the team better, because the defense, they had to back up whatever I said, and the offense had to back up whatever Cam said. And those things, when you compete the way that we did, it made training camp special for us.
Well, and certainly there are some vets on this team, I'm thinking of Shaq, that are gonna do that in this training camp. But what advice do you have for young players?
You know, just make sure when you are a young player, you got to make sure that you understand the playbook inside and out. Because when you step on the field, you want to perform at your best. You're already at a disadvantage because people are looking at you like a rookie, or depending on where you got drafted at, if you're a first-round pick, you have a little bit more leeway than some of the other guys, but the expectation level is extremely high on you. So you got to make sure that you understand the playbook inside and out. You got coaches and other veteran players that are dependent on you. So you want to make sure that when you take that field, you're not running the wrong route. You're not playing the wrong coverage defensively. So these guys, first and foremost, I would tell them, understand your playbook so that you can be the best you when you take the field.
You know, I got to ask you about the defense. I do that every time we are on the show, and specifically Trevin Wallace. I want to know what you think of this group and him.
You know, I'll start out talking about Trevin Wallace. I'm very excited about this young kid.
That's high praise.
Having the opportunity to watch some of his games when he played at Kentucky, just seeing the explosiveness and the athleticism that he brings to this football team, along with his size, I think is going to bode well for an NFL linebacker. You know, I got to learn today that he's a country fella like myself, so we know we're built a little different when you grow up in the country, but I just feel like overall, defensively, this is a unit that, you know, lost Brian Burns, but I feel like bringing in Jadeveon Clowney, DJ Wanham, those guys are going to step up and be big for us over the course of this season. But having a healthy Shaq Thompson back is going to make a world of difference, because we know what Shaq brings to the table. He had the opportunity to learn under us, and his skill set is not like some of these other linebackers in this league, man. He's a guy that you can do multiple things with, from a blitz package or a coverage package. Shaq is a guy that is very versatile, so I'm definitely excited about seeing what he does.
And finally, you know, we could have started out with this topic because it's probably the most important thing about training camp, this staff. So what Dave Canales is doing, what Coach Avero is doing on the defense, what are you seeing?
You know, I'm seeing a group that defensively has some cohesiveness. I love the fact that Coach Canales made the decision to bring that defensive staff back. The offensive staff, I feel like you have a rock star characters, man. When it comes to the play calling, I think that is going to allow Bryce Young to be comfortable, because we've seen the ability for him to go and work with quarterbacks. When he worked with Geno Smith in Seattle, and then he worked with Baker Mayfield in Tampa last year, I think that really shows his ability to be a quarterback whisperer. I've been seeing some improvement out of Bryce Young in his decision making and the timing of him getting rid of the football. So I think that that's going to bode well for us as well.
All right, thank you, TD. Well, right before camp got underway in Charlotte, some Panthers got to go to Germany to spread that keep pounding message to fans and U.S. service members. Check it out.
You know, we're in different places when they got Mercedes-Benz. There's a taxi. How many people? A taxi is crazy. What is it?
I'm a big NFL fan. I was excited to see you guys. I really was.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the win. There's a lot of factors out here.
I got you.
Woo! Woo! Let me see if I can do that.
A little less power.
Yeah, let me tell you. That one's way easier.
Go. There we go.
Left. Yeah, my boy. Yeah, get right. Get right. Yeah. 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 Come on, keep going. Keep going. Nah, this gotta be 100. Nah, this gotta be 100. This is wicked. Oh my God. I didn't even get to run my 40, but shoot, if you ask me, I probably ran like a 4.48. All right, that's pretty dope. Probably somewhere like that. I hope so. I want to get in one.
I want to get one.
I won't. Won't be me. I know I'm the bomb, but that don't mean you gotta put me in a bomb suit. That was actually a bar. That was a bar.
Appreciate y'all. Boy back
Thanks
home
for coming
retired
out.
in North Carolina. Word. He's gonna love us because he was out here in Germany too. The flag?
Yes, ma'am. Coming up next, the Panthers celebrated 3 decades in the Carolinas by inviting some legends like TD to Bank of America Stadium last week.
I was a little late to the party, but nonetheless, we had an amazing time.
My wife and I, we wanted to attempt to have a baby. And she literally told me, Kelvin Benjamin got hurt. She said, babe, I got to drink this season. You guys are not going to be good. That's literally what she told me in the preseason.
We were just there having fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't know how good we were going to be. We knew we had solid pieces, and we knew our defense was solid. We knew we had an MVP caliber quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We knew we had players, right? We just didn't know that we were going to be that good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So being able to go out there day in and day out and just have fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dancing on the field.
Every
you know what I'm saying?
Fun when you
win. Right.
It was real fun to come to work.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
You guys nailed it. I think everyone had so much fun together. Yeah. And I think people wanted to be in the building. People didn't want to go home. We played trash can basketball. Yeah. We had stuff on. I feel like every day in the locker room after practice, like nobody wanted to go home.
You knew it was going to be a day when Cam came out dancing, feeling himself in stretches.
But then it was
stuff talk. Yeah. That was going to be a
when
day.
When Cam talk, Luke talk.
Yeah.
When Luke talk, TD talk.
Yes, sir. And then now we're going to start going down that path. And then let's talk about the fight in training camp between J-No and Cam. That's what made the front page of the news. I don't think it wasn't that crazy. But these two, just nobody stopped anybody. 2 rams from button heads.
Yeah. I didn't realize how big Cam really was. We had my dog fold up like a suitcase. I'm like, get off him! Like, let him go. You know what I'm saying?
People were protecting Josh,
not
Cam.
Yeah. Man, let him go, please, bro. Let him go.
Big 6, man.
30 years, we the best. Let's get up out of here, man. I guess y'all can call us back when y'all get somebody close.
All right, here we are with a couple of legends from the 2003 Super Bowl team, the best team in Carolina Panther history by far. No bias. But man, here Jake comes in, Steve comes in, boy Al Wallace come in. I had just came off the 1-15 year, most miserable year of my life. I wanted to go flip burgers after that year. We was losing. I was like, this can't be. I know God, I ain't been the best person in the world, but I know I did enough good stuff. You can't do me like this to start the season off. We come at halftime, and then Foxy say, well, we got to make some changes. And the legend of Jake Delhomme is born.
Yeah. We knew who Moose was. Everybody knew who Steven was, but according to Washington and Steve Spurrier, you were washed up. Yeah, wow. Exactly. So he had the edge. Deshaun was microfracture. Nobody talks about microfracture anymore. No. He was coming off microfracture. You don't know if Deshaun's ever going to be the same. And they had, Ricky Prohl, he's washed up. And then they have this receiver who everybody thought was a punt returner. was, in my opinion, one of the baddest man in the planet with the football in his hand. And so I come in there, I don't know no better. I'm young, I'm still extremely wet behind the ears, and we were able to go down, get a touchdown, and our defense was good. We all knew that. Coach Fox knew it, everybody knew it, and we were lucky enough to battle it out and get a win at the end, and that was the start of our season. I mean, like that was exactly who we were. That game was who we were. Never say die. We're not going to quit. Somebody's making a play at the end.
That 15 team can't touch us.
No, they can't.
That's
the final word.
And to be honest with you, they shouldn't even put them in a conversation with us.
Here we go.
Here we go. In this conversation with us. They was dabbing. We were buzzing heads. We some head busters. We were knocking head out. We some head busters.
The first 5 games, we go 0-5. Now, we had a veteran team because that's how Dom wanted to set it up. He wanted to win early. So he went out and got veteran players, guys that he had
great
coached.
leaders.
Great leaders like Sam Mills,
Kevin
Green, exactly.
Well, you look at it, we had a lot of great leaders, but any other team in the NFL has a core group of guys that have played together. So we come in with 53 guys on the roster that got to learn how to play together.
Exactly.
You know, I think those first games when we struggled, I think that was that learning curve, and then we figured it out. Mm-hmm. But then I think everybody realized, oh, wait a minute, these guys might be for real.
Exactly.
You know, to come back and to be a part of it and see the fans coming out to support it, it makes you proud to be a part of this.
Yeah, and it goes back to being the only franchise, a startup franchise, to win 7 games in the inaugural season.
Yep.
7-9. I don't know if anybody will ever do that again. And then the second year you go to the championship game.
Yeah.
I mean, when is that ever going to happen again?
Well, that is going to do it for this special camp edition of The Huddle, and we'll be with you every single week until the end of the season from now on. But until next time,
keep pounding.
You've been watching the Panthers Huddle, a copyrighted presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL.